Hey, welcome back to Soda City Jams. Today I am very happy to be talking to someone I've known for a while and one of my favorite local musicians, Mr. Chris Compton.
Thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome. So, Chris, one of the questions I was curious about, just thinking about you, because I don't know if we've ever sat down and talked about stuff like this. Like, what was the moment you wanted to start playing guitar? And then did it start off with like, I want to write songs and play guitar? Did it start just guitar? What was the general kind of impetus for it?
Definitely not. I think guitar was just like a vehicle because I just wanted to write songs. I didn't even know if I was, at the time I was thinking about writing songs. I was definitely into writing, like words, like poetry, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of early when I was about 6th grade, I guess. And then in 7th grade when I was 12, I was into writing poetry so much that my mom, who worked at USC, talked with a USC professor and got some of the grad students to tutor me in poetry. So I go once a week to the whatever part, I can't remember what building it was.
Yeah.
But, so it was definitely more word oriented. So then kind of guitar was maybe just a vehicle to write a song.
Yeah.
And
well, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, and I never was deep into the guitar, technically involved until kind of past 4 years. I've definitely gotten more aware of I need to work on this, these skills, and so much. It's exciting. I'm excited about it
because it becomes part of your palette, and then the more you can kind of do on the guitar, the more you can get across musically to combine with the words. Yeah, that's great. I would never thought, just watching you play, that you didn't have any, kind of technical ability on the guitar.
Sure, passable, I suppose. But I mean, I'm just saying that I never really.
Were you using your ear more to hear things, or were you just kind of doing stuff like that?
And I never took guitar lessons. My dad just taught me chords,
Yeah. I think that's more valuable sometimes, though. When you can actually hear something and replicate it, that's all you really need.
Like playing by ear or something?
Yeah. Or if you can just hear a melody and then make it actually come out on your guitar. You didn't necessarily need theory to do that if you worked hard enough just to do it in general,
Yeah, I'm realizing now that I know the names of things, like the things I like. Oh, and I can know how to describe them to other people. I like, what is it? I like 13ths and 6ths and like those kind of like unresolved notes. And I'm realizing what they are now.
Yeah.
That's why I like that.
That you hit on that. That is the cool thing about it. Once you do understand it, it becomes like a language.
Yeah.
You can
Instead of da-da, you're just like trying to communicate with.
Yeah, you can speak it a lot faster. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first guitar? You said your dad played. Did you have one around the house that you picked up?
Acoustics, yeah. He the one actually I have my first guitar still is a Yamaha 110 or something. It's horrible. It's like a giant piece of wood, and the action is just like it's like a sailboat or something with rigging, and like you can't adjust the truss rod anymore. I think that was a deterrent for me really getting into the guitar because it was hard to play. And I was just kind of, mashing chords. It wasn't very.
Well, and it's hard too because you don't know because you've not played enough to know that the action on that guitar was janky in the first place.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember I had a guitar just like that. It was like a Montana or something. And then the first time I played my friend's like Stratocaster, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Like just the difference in an electric guitar and acoustic, anyway, is so different. But his, like, I was like, I'm barely touching this, and it's making sound.
Yeah. It's almost like you feel like you're cheating now.
I know. So, at what point did you start getting into bands and stuff? I know you've played in a lot of bands. I don't even know if I know every single band that you've been a part of. Because I remember the first time I saw a picture of you and Jason from a very old band. Mm-hmm. And you had long hair. I don't think I've ever even seen that before. So I can't remember what the name of that band was now, but
you've been in a few together.
Yeah, well, that's true. This one it was around 90s, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably. I was in like a band. I was never in a band in high school. Just my high school, I felt kind of like isolated. Like there weren't many people who were artistic. I guess that's what I realized.
Where did you go to high school?
Lower Richland.
Okay.
Or weren't as many people that I could identify with. Whatever. You're in high school too. So I found a friend and I taught him how to play the bass because we were friends, and that was my first kind of real musical collaboration. And it wasn't until like college that I started a band with somebody. It was called The Killing Floor after the Howlin' Wolf song. Yeah. And we did a lot of blues and rock and roll stuff. And back then it was funny because I wanted to be the singer. I had no kind of stage presence yet. I was like no guitar, sing on a microphone.
Yeah.
Then I realized, you know,
Yeah.
that wasn't.
You're doing like your best Mick Jagger or something?
Yeah. It was Jim Morrison.
Hey, that's good though.
Right.
I like Jim Morrison a lot.
That the early band, and then I played with these same friends for the next 15 years or so.
Yeah.
Jason Switzer, Martin Beckham.
How'd you meet
Scott.
Jason? Just because there's a
through,
age difference, you know.
Actually through the drummer Scott Hilton.
Okay.
The drummer, it was Scott.
Yeah.
And Jason lives in Lancaster, and the two of them had played in bands previously. So he was like, "You should hear this guy." Jason is by far one of the best guitar players I've ever played with, and
I love that.
I think I've taken the little bit of style that I'm trying to develop. I know I'm informed from his playing because he's he doesn't blister the board, and he's like thought out. They're melody like, and you could sing them kind of, you know.
And he knows how to use all the toys appropriately too. You know, a lot of people get pedal heavy and they lose something, but he knows how to actually get a specific reaction with what he does. I think does he still just use that one pedal that has like the 900 effects built in? Or
he's got a board now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him playing forever.
Right.
Like pre-pandemic, definitely.
That's when we last played together,
Yeah. That's cool. So when did your bands start becoming bands that you were really getting behind and enjoying being in and, you know, starting your musical journey to be all the way to where you're at now?
Probably from the start. I mean, I thought every band was my, you know, I would put a lot into
That's
it.
good.
Probably.
That's probably the best way to
but I would
it,
say, like, I mean, like, I had other bands, like, I'm trying to just throw out some names. There was the Fossil Record, Lapis Lazuli. Those were...
That's the first time I think I remember seeing you
Lapis Lazuli is
the Fossil Record, and Ashley was playing keyboards.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Was Jamie Braceford in that?
Briefly.
Okay,
just briefly. And Stephen Williams is also briefly in that band.
Y'all were playing at the Warehouse. Yeah. That's the first time. Because I was trying to think the other day, I cannot remember a definitive moment where we met. Because I've known you for so long now, but I couldn't remember what. I had to have maybe been at like, may have seen you play or something, but didn't know you. But maybe like at Bence's open mics, because those tended to kind of bring a lot of people together, and there was more intimate settings to have conversations. So I didn't know.
Those open mics were a big cultural
happening. They were. Kind of thing. The Red Tub. Anyway, miss those days. Sort of. I like things that have happened since then too.
Right.
So where are you at? What are you doing musically now? Tell everybody about that. Cause, he's so humble. He won't talk about the full extent of everything he's done.
I put an album out last month, a new album called Lovable Losers, and it was recorded with Zach White, who recorded the last time I did, who lives down the street from me, which is really great.
That is really great.
It's very casual the way we could work together, and he's really creative and really adept, you know, at the board.
Yeah.
He's really, and he's gotten so much faster at things and better over the course of the time that we worked together.
Yeah.
But I had Lovable Losers come out, and that's 14 tracks, 12 popper songs. There's like some instrumental interludes, but it's about a dozen songs. And
so 2 songs kind of just... Okay, 4, gotcha.
And
transition kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Had some few people.
I haven't gotten to hear it yet. She loved it. She told me all about it.
I brought one too.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
So yeah,
how do people get that album? Like, how do they listen to it?
You can definitely listen on Spotify, iTunes, all those, Google Play, any of those.
YouTube. Okay. I'm kind of archaic. Like, I don't have a Spotify.
Gotcha. Oh man.
And stuff like that. So I probably should.
It's an easy way to get lost in deep dives. Fans
Well, and once I paid like the $10 a month to get ads off of YouTube, it opens up features that I didn't even know it had. So you can they have an entire music app built into it for everything that's on there.
Heard about that,
yeah. It made it a lot better. Just because I was teaching and there were inappropriate ads coming up before songs for kids and stuff. Right. Or things that maybe weren't horrible, but you still don't want that in front of a 6-year-old when neither one of you asked for it. But
right.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you've been playing with the Runout a lot too.
Yeah, Also, we put an album out in December, and I played just guitar with them.
Yeah.
And that's a
do any background vocals or
a little bit, but I love the fact that I don't have to sing, and I love to concentrate on the guitar. It's a new thing for me entirely. I've never done that before, so it's a cool thing. And that's gotten me into the guitar more. Oh wow, okay, I could just need to explore it more, and I think I'm a lot better than I was maybe even 2 years ago when I started with them.
Well, good. That's awesome. I know that does help a lot because I remember the first time I joined a band where I didn't have to sing, and they were like, "You're just the lead guitar player." I was like, "Yes."
Right.
You know, because like you just said, you can focus on it.
Right.
You don't have to worry about anything else. Like, I'm here just to do this one thing, and then you can really dive into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
Also, like when you're a singer, you're obligated to communicate with people.
Yes.
And it's nice to not have that obligation.
You're sort of...
You can do it casually. You
Yeah.
can throw in jokes because you're not obligated,
Yeah.
right? So you're a lot lighter. You
Yeah.
know, like you can just make a little comment. And Jeff's going to have to do the heavy lifting and talk to the audience.
That's right. That's right. I can just stand here and look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watch me shred. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Sydney, you got any questions you want to throw out there from behind the camera? You always have some interesting things.
I was curious about, so I love Hello Marie. I just love that song so much. And I was just curious, I guess, about is there anything behind that song?
Yeah, definitely. Of all the ones, it's kind of like a story
Okay.
that I could easily...
Well, sometimes I've asked people, like, what's behind that? They're like, oh, just like,
right.
whatever. Yeah, so sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, so I'll tell you the short story. So I write all my songs at work. I'm not going to have written anything at home, I don't think, for a few years. And everything I write is on this first act child's guitar, really small. And I keep it in the car, and I drive and play the guitar.
Yeah.
I'm driving my knees really well. I'm super safe driver. Let's just say that first, man. I am a good driver.
That's right.
And I will.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, and don't try this.
Any police officers watching?
I have gotten
That was
plenty
a
of looks,
joke.
plenty of pissed off people driving by.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at your cell phone, so leave me alone. Anyway, so I write all my songs when I'm driving, and it's at work. And for my job, I'm driving around the state. I work for an environmental company, so I'm testing water at different places.
Yeah.
Back road driving, and then, like I think driving is almost like a meditation for me, and it allows me to be able to maybe write a little bit easier or something. So anyway, I'm driving probably Highway 1 near Cassett, and when I was thinking about this song, and I just started strumming some chords, and I threw out like a dummy lyric, "Oh Marie," and just to sing something.
Something catching.
And I kind of, for the first time, I kind of started thinking about songs like this from that point on, where, this song feels like a mood, or like the song has a certain feeling. So I instead of just writing, instead of lyrically picking some subject, I felt I needed to write to the mood of the song. So the song felt really comfortable, like comfort food, very easygoing. So anyway, that mood I wanted to write to the mood, and I didn't know. I was like, Marie. And then I just kept going with the song a little bit. Then I realized eventually that my mom's middle name is Marie. This is just kind of subconscious. Mm-hmm. Anyway, by the end of the song, it was a song for my mom, written through me. Is my dad speaking? My dad passed away in 2012. So it's like everything that's said basically is like him, like speaking through me. That's why it's like I don't know, I'll be home tonight or whatever the line myself, but all those lyrics, and there's even references to things that my dad and my mom like to do, or stuff that's nostalgic for me with my dad, like the Summer Breeze on the radio, that nostalgic tune, and references to Watch the Stars Up in the Sky on the second verse. My dad was an amateur astronomer. Just the little things I threw in there. So in the comfort part of it is like family, in the end I realized that's what it was, like the comfort food thing was like, even there's a line, I want to taste what you're making tonight, about, dinner time, just being at home and comfortable. So that's what that song turned out to be.
Oh, that's beautiful. I really love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's funny you were talking about the poetry thing when we first started, talking earlier. And you do something that I really like and I try and do sometimes in songs, which is put a lot of things together, almost like it would be like a rap, I guess, or just something very fast, like a very fast passage of very intentionally placed words that rhyme and come together.
Right.
Like, I love that stuff. I was noticing it in the Ruby Burnett's. That was album in a while.
Right.
There was a lot of moments like that with the vocal harmonies. And, I was just curious, like, what attracted you to that kind of just style in general? Because I've always had, like I said, an attraction to it, too, and I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe Dylan or, just things growing up, but...
It's the words, because you can probably,
just the
if you're trying to tell a story or get some ideas in people's head, it's harder to do with very few words, right? So if you can provide a lot of imagery, and if it's have cadence and melody.
Well, I was going to say, that's the thing too. It's not just the words, but then that cadence, that kind of fun, fast thing with it.
And something like that could be easily dismissed kind of by your ear, but I would like to add internal rhyme. I do that a lot. It's not just an end of a line, but within that line, there's some internal play that makes it more of a hook kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But honestly, these days, I think that the fill in a line full of words, I'm moving the other direction.
Yeah.
Like leaving space, because those to me end up being more singable and memorable to people who listen to them. Because there's these spaces and it's kind of lyrically harder to make it as meaningful with just a few words too.
Yeah.
So there's a give and take.
There's a balance you have to find when you're doing it. Yeah, that's interesting. I've always kind of liked that style. I think what you hit on for me personally that I think of now reflected on is like when I was younger and I was into it and I was trying to write those songs, there was almost like a need, not to be pretentious, but to like to prove, hey, I can do something.
Right.
I'm good. I have some ability to like really look at how cool this is, kind of thing.
Right.
And I think as you get older and more comfortable with yourself, or at least me particularly, like it is easier to start stating things in simpler ways. You don't have that need to like kind of over push it a little bit just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you find that to be true in any way?
Yeah. And I think also too that sometimes where I'll put something in there and I don't point at it, like lyrically, I don't say that's a reference to this other song, for instance.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it in there hoping that somebody will pick up that Easter egg.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
a little surprise. Like, because I listen to tons of music my whole life and all kinds of music, and I'm always pulling little lines, and you know, maybe it's theft, but it's not. Like I'm just doing it because I want to reference that song.
Yeah,
in a sense
exactly.
or whatever. But little things like that.
Well, I don't think that's theft at all, honestly. You know,
it's hard to say what is and how.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's only 12 notes. There's
Right.
only so much you can do before something's going to overlap. That's why I've never understood some of these copyright suits, because I'm like, how would the blues have survived to this point if anybody copyrighted like a standard shuffle in E, like you're done.
Right, exactly.
There'd be 12 keys copyrighted, nobody could play any blues.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know. Unless it's just blatant, like you just literally ripped off a song.
Mm-hmm.
Like Under Pressure and
Ice
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 Baby.
Baby.
That's like very, very clear. But
You
then
can't
like
just leave out one beat and basically play the exact same song.
Right.
And say,
I thought that was like an intentional sample. That was like a steal.
Well, there's a great video of Ice trying to like play it off. He's like, nah, see, there's this dun 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 dun.
Oh, I see.
Mine's dun 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 dun. Like it like drops one beat in the whole thing.
No, he did not. It was not a permission.
I was wondering if that was before or after they hung him out of the the terrace window from the hotel or whatever, supposedly, as the story goes.
But then like one that's not as obvious is Rolling Stones' The Last Time and Bittersweet Symphony, The Verve.
I would never be able to catch that.
Oh, yeah.
And they got sued into oblivion.
Keith Richards earns royalties on Bittersweet Symphony. Like they sued him and they won. But I don't think. I mean, if you put the idea in your head and then listen to it, then you can hear it. But you would never notice.
I would never hear
like
that. In
it's
that song.
apparently like The Verve is like it's supposed to be that real slowed down kind of tempo.
Well, I think they took a specific string sample or something from the song, and that's what got them in trouble.
I can't even tell. I couldn't tell until I heard about the whole lawsuit, and of course now I hear it.
Sure.
But
yeah,
well, that's one that's not.
But that's what, a good reference point for one that. Why'd you even see those people? You're just greedy at that point.
Well, the future of music, right? So where is it going? Like, so there's so much stolen or borrowed. So one example is like the Strokes album from like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They had a song that was so much like Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol that they discredited him with the song. They didn't even say it. They just put his name on the song credit, from the beginning, and admitted that yes, it sounds just like that.
Yeah.
Is that the way we're going now?
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny.
I mean, maybe. Why not?
Well, it is a way
at
to
least
just...
that in a way kind of protects you in a sense, and gives you a little integrity about it. And I would say only do that if you really feel that's like, that you did that.
That is that. Oh yeah.
That like you maybe you were listening to that song at the time and you're just like, you know what? I have literally just ripped off that song. I was listening to over the summer. I don't want to put it out, but I'm just gonna have to be straightforward and be like, Billy Idol, I love you. Here you are.
That's a good idea. I mean, you avoid any kind of.
Well, I just don't know how anybody like from the '60s, not only that was a national recording artist at the time, like any of the big ones we could name, but like any of the kids listening to them and then wanting to write songs, it's like that's all they were doing. Like kind of not saying they were copying those people, but there are definite influences that keep going. You get to Tom Petty, he listened to the Byrds and the Beatles. Like it's just Not that he's exactly doing their songs. Well, at some point he covered
Some
some,
of them.
but you know, I mean, it's like you hear the influences. They're there.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know what the future of music is. So you say you do Spotify. What is that your number one go-to to get music?
Yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get so overwhelmed by it. Honestly, it was easier in a sense. Like back in high school, I think my golden period for new music was like, you know, when MTV still had some degree of music programming and VH1, and then you'd have Austin City Limits to kind of find out about people that you may not have heard of.
Right.
Like there was a lot of indie acts I found out that way. But then to turn around and go to Manifest or something right afterwards, because it's right up the store, was up the street. I missed that store. But anyway, and actually that guy at the time, before it was a corporate buyout, you know, it was the original owner, he had every obscure CD you could ever find.
Yeah.
You know, if I saw something on Austin City Limits, he had it in the store the next day. And I really liked buying CDs and getting into the albums. I think I've just never fully made the transition to streaming. Like, it's been hard. Because there was such a tactile, you know, it was like a group environment. Like, hey, let's go to the UCD store, you know, something like that. So,
yeah, I love the physical copies of things too.
I do too. I don't know. It's weird. What are you going to do? And then vinyl has a resurgence.
Right, exactly.
Have you thought about are you doing physical media for your new release you just talked about?
Just the CD.
Yeah.
But yeah, vinyl's really expensive. I did not want to.
It is.
Try to do that.
I've kind of been toying with that idea though, because I figured, you know,
Right.
if you give people a digital download, maybe if you did a basic run CD without a slipcase or something to put with it, you know, do a total package thing, it might justify the cost you'd have to charge to then recuperate from doing vinyl in the first place, you know.
Right.
And there's just something so tactile about it, but
yeah, I like to see stuff. Like I used to write. I loved reading the liner notes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or I saw some Bob Dylan album. You know, he would write crazy
yeah,
stuff in the back of that thing.
the thank yous and like the stuff
Yeah.
from when they recorded it can
Right.
always be really interesting. Yeah.
I remember especially like jazz, because I was in jazz kind of young too. I would like write down the the clientele, the personnel of the album on my little cassette on the little paper, the Maxell. I would like look at that and kind of, you know, whoever was on Elvin Bishop on drums, you know, and write it down.
That's crazy. Man, one of the things I really enjoyed, you know, that we used to do was that songwriter group. I think that's an invaluable thing for people trying to learn how to write songs. Because once again, it was a group of peers of people that I really respected, you know, and I really wanted to hear their thought processes on that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, you know.
That was really good
Yeah.
experience.
I still play every song that I wrote from those monthly meetings, you know, because I just think they're cool. They were good songs.
Right. That was awesome to. I mean, I guess I knew about all these people, too, but I never really had talked to them in detail, in any depth, and that was so cool.
Yeah, definitely made a lot of fun friends. So you got what's going on in the future? I guess we got to wrap this up at some point. We can't talk all day.
I'm gonna record another album before the year is out. This time with Todd Mathis. I'm just trying something different. I'd still like to do something in the future.
Yeah, I really want to do that too.
Yeah,
just go over to Todd's and do something because I know he would. The kind of stuff I like, he would be perfect for. So.
Yeah, he seems like he's really. I mean, I've been over there a few times already, and it's very cool environment, easy to work with. And those 10 songs I was telling you about, showing the band, I'll put those on that album.
Nice.
Probably, yeah, and maybe a few more.
If you ever need any incidental guitar, I'm here for you.
Incidental guitar.
I can do whatever.
Cool.
Well, cool. I can't wait to hear the new album that you just dropped because like I said, I got to check it out. And I can't wait for the new thing that's going to come out in the future. You got any gigs coming up?
Yeah, I should say that August 6th, which is like the day after my birthday. Not that that matters to anybody.
Happy
you
birthday.
should come out and see me play at a Random Tap in North Columbia because that's going to be. I never had an album release party for this thing last month, so this is kind of
like
just
unofficial.
Yeah. I had the album. My mom also did. She hand wrote and illustrated these lyric books of my lyrics for the Lovable Losers album. So I'll have these little booklets and the CDs available too.
All right. Don't know if the video will be out before August 6th.
That's cool.
But
yeah.
If you're hearing this then...
It will. I'll put it out before then. Just to make sure,
You never know. It'd be like the Convoluted Network. If you're hearing this now, it's actually August 8th. But no.
Well, at least, if anything, I'll just announce it
We'll
on the
post it,
page. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. All right. Well, thank you for coming here and
thanks for
jamming
having me.
with us. Oh, no problem, man. Shake.
Yeah, man.